Welcome to week 3 of the Open. This is it, your final opportunity to get a score on the board and show the world what you've got. We have an awesome workout this week with 22.3, starting with 21 pull-ups, then 42 double unders and 21 thrusters at the first barbell weight, which is 65 for the ladies and 95 for the guys. Then round 2 starts over at the pull-up bar with chest to bar pull-ups. You've got 18 of those, then 36 double unders and 18 thrusters at the second weight. It's a little bit heavier, so 75 for the ladies and 115 for the guys. Then we get to the big dog round, the final round of the Open, 15 bar muscle ups, 30 double unders, and then 15 thrusters at the final weight of 85 pounds for the ladies and 135 for the guys. All of that in a 12-minute time cap. So for a lot of us, it's gonna be how far can we get inside that 12-minute time cap, just trying to get every rep on the board. For the really, really fit, it's gonna be beating the clock and seeing how fast you can get the whole thing done. So the way I think this workout is gonna go is that it's easy to look at it and come out the gate hot if you're feeling comfortable with some of these movements. That first set, the reps are big, but the movements in the scheme of things are less challenging than what's gonna come a little bit later on. That's a trap. It's a classic CrossFit workout misdirection. Watch yourself and make sure you don't come out so hot that those big sets in the beginning don't tire you out for the more challenging work ahead. It's probably a good idea to have a strategy where you take breaks a little bit earlier than you might need to up front, so that as the workout progresses, you've got enough in the tank to hit those last couple of sets hard. Another big picture element to think about with this workout, you've got pull-up skills, you've got double unders, and you've got thrusters with heavier and heavier weights. All of these are gonna provide a different challenge. The pull-up bar is gonna be technical, it's gonna test your grip strength, so you're gonna need to make sure you manage that appropriately. The double unders is a complete gear switch. This is when you're gonna have to get your inner zen happening and just chill out, let the technique happen, because if you're too tense going into that, it's not gonna go well. So take a breath, get calm, and then knock those nice smooth double unders out. When you get to the thrusters, again, it's all about that controlled grunt work. The thruster is going to be difficult when you get later in the sets, so don't drain the tank too early and then have nothing left when you get to the higher loads. So let's talk about the movements specifically. All of the movements that you're doing on the pull-up bar have more reps than you probably want. That set of 21 on the regular pull-ups is a trap. It's there to try to fatigue you for those more challenging skills later on. So unless you are super confident that you've got way more than 21 pull-ups in the bank, take that first set a little bit easy. Make sure you've got enough left in the tank for that next set. When you get to the chest to bar, again, it's about fatigue management. It's an easy thing to fall into where you take a big bite, but then you need a big break to follow that up. So as you come off the thrusters into that chest to bar pull-up set, be thinking about smart sets. A couple at a time, a quick break, and then right back onto the bar. The goal is discipline in those breaks. Take just enough time to get refreshed in the grip, catch your breath for a second, and then right back on. Chip away at that set. If you can make it to the bar muscle ups, congratulations. That is a feat in and of itself in this workout. Hats off to you. Now you gotta start chipping your way through them. There's gonna be a significant amount of fatigue built up by the time you get there. And that fatigue is going to wanna trick you into thinking that you need to transition early and that you're gonna tense up to try to get the job done. All that does is create a vicious cycle. You get more tense, you start transitioning earlier, it takes more energy to get up on top of the bar, and you cycle into a point where eventually you just can't get the rep. So take a second, compose yourself, be patient on the transition, stay relaxed, and keep those movements happening efficiently. Let's talk double unders. Now, double unders can be one of the most fun parts of a workout or one of the most frustrating. So, like I mentioned before, you wanna make sure that you've got a nice calm before you start that set. It's easy to come into this with your heart rate racing, and then you start going before you're ready, or you're too tense and you trip up and it just doesn't go your way. So take your time, get composed, find a nice target in front of you, and then start that set. If you miss, don't despair. It's easy when you miss on a double under to start taking more rest than you need. So before you start this workout, I recommend thinking up a mental strategy in your mind that keeps you on pace. My mental strategy when I'm doing double unders is if I miss, I stand tall, I take 3 deep breaths, and then I'm right back on the rope, come what may. All right, last but not least, the thruster. This is a classic CrossFit movement. Everybody loves them. What more fun could you have? You got a nice deep squat, you got a full overhead press, you combine them together into the best movement ever. Couple of tips on the thruster. Your rack position. Remember, it's a bit of a hybrid. If your elbows are all the way up like a front squat, it's gonna be hard to complete the press. But if they're not high enough and you don't have a good rack to support the bar, it's gonna be really, really difficult and inefficient. So you've gotta find that happy medium and you've gotta make sure that it's consistent every rep. The next thing you wanna think about is that transition from the squat to the press. When you start to get tired, it's easy to transition early, just like the bar muscle up. You're gonna start to press the bar before you've completed the squat. That's too much work for the arms. So think about the timing. Wait until the last second. The bar should feel like it's already jumping off your chest before you follow through with the arms to finish out that movement. Take your time on the thrusters, get those reps nice and clean. Knees need to be driving out, depth needs to be nice and low, and make sure that transition is what it needs to be. That's it from me, guys, for 22.3. This workout's gonna be a challenge for all of us, so go in with a plan. And speaking of a plan, check out the CrossFit affiliate programming. They've come up with a really awesome lesson plan that everybody can benefit from. If you're an affiliate owner, it's gonna have all sorts of tips for you to run this thing in a big group class, so check it out. If you're not an affiliate owner and you're not a coach, go check it out anyway, because there's lots of great warm-up tips. There's gonna be some tips on how to approach some of these skills and how to cool down after it's all said and done. So, have some fun out there, challenge yourself with this one, and we'll see you on the leaderboard.